Right, we are live. Welcome to the show,
What's up,
everybody.
everybody? Yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. First one back after Easter. Who has overindulged? Sorry, I've got a little cable thing going on here I need to get rid of. I certainly did. I certainly did. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How to get back on the wagon after an Easter binge. I don't binge on chocolate, I binge on beer. And I gave it a good nudge last week on vacation. I have
Yep.
this sort of system that tends to work well for me where I become a non-drinker pretty much when I'm at home or working. And then when I go on vacation, it's all bets are off. And I have a system of exercise where, unless I'm going away for more than a week or two, I work out really hard and I ramp load my exercise up to the vacation, and then I put myself into what's sort of referred to as a super compensation or an overreaching state where you need recovery for a few days, and then I feel really good about it during the time that I'm off because I can sort of sit on my butt and do no exercise and still make gains. Today we're going to talk about how you climb back up on the wagon because unfortunately the human brain is designed in a way where we tend to, when we lose momentum, really get ourselves down and beat ourselves up over that, and it can become a long-term problem. It can sabotage the goals that we had prior to taking some time away. We're going to take a deep dive into how to deal with that, how Richard and I sort of cope with interference in our regular schedule, how we get back on the wagon and make it so that the vacation never really happened. Now, before we do, let's just quickly introduce ourselves. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. My name is Yanni Burmeister. To my left, your right, is Richard Lellies. We are the head coaches of Unity Gym and the UMS, where we turn driven people like yourself into athletes. And we want to always give a big shout out to everyone joining us over on the Movement Mastermind Facebook group. If you are watching on YouTube or listening on the podcast, that is the next step of evolution for you. It's a free group. You'll have to apply to join, answer a couple of questions, and then we'll get you in there into a like-minded tribe of about almost 5,000 people, all striving for the same goals: to be strong, flexible, and fit. I can see we got Will over there. Will is part of I'd still call him part of our team, not just our tribe.
Definitely.
What's up, brother? And if you are watching the live stream either on YouTube or in the Movement Mastermind, do say hello and we'll send you back some love. I just want to see if we are live on YouTube. Have you checked that, Richie? Yep, we are.
Yeah,
Boom.
we're live at both. Yep.
And smash that like button. I can see we have AAVV from San Francisco. Fangirl anxiously awaiting for the advice. We will certainly help you out. So yeah, look, I wrote a blog about this yesterday, and I think that it's really important that people understand that, you know, it is okay to give yourself permission to take a break from your regular schedule. And I've done a lot of research on this because it really interests me that the people that live the longest and tend to be the healthiest don't necessarily follow as strict a regime with diet and exercise as you might think. There are elements to health and longevity that are probably unexpected. They certainly were for me. And that is, that there needs to be a high level of socializing. There needs to be a high level of human interaction and community. And then you mix that with physical exercise and healthy diet, and you tend to get the longest living people in the world. But those key elements, it's not just about the diet and exercise, which I think, you can use to get yourself back on track really quickly when you take a bit of time off over a vacation break like Easter. And there'll be a lot of you out there still in the midst of your vacation probably feeling pretty lousy about how much chocolate or alcohol. For me, I drank a fair bit of beer last week, as I stated earlier, and you can start to really beat yourself up. But if you shift your mindset to, I give myself permission to do this. This is a part of a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Then you'll find that you can quite quickly flick the switch and get back on track with whatever you were focused on before, your regular healthy routine. However, if you allow yourself to get really beat up and beat down by that, and you go deep and you get inside your head and let your thoughts run wild about how much of a hopeless uh, failure you are, it tends to spiral you out of out of control, and you'll tend to do more of the thing that you just did that you're unhappy with. And it's really important that you understand that the brain works in quite astonishing ways, but it can really, really work against you. Your thoughts can really start to work against you. Um, Richard, I know that you're a little bit more of a machine, unlike me. How did you go over Easter? What was your indulgence? What was your vice? Was it chocolate? Was it booze? Was it food? Sometimes you just eat more.
Uh, to be honest, I can't even remember. I think it just honestly felt like a normal weekend to me. And, every week, every weekend, I indulge a little bit as well. So it wasn't like, and I feel like you're someone that is super strict and you restrict yourself, even on the weekends during every day of every week of the year, then you're going to hit these points where Easter comes along, holidays come along, and you're just like so pent up, so like ready to just eat whatever you can, that it does turn into a binge. But because I allow myself like these little indulgences on the weekend mostly, it kind of feels like it's just a regular weekend, and I don't really need to overconsume or get in what I can while it's still the Easter holidays. So in that sense, it kind of feels like just a normal weekend for me. But I think that it's a bit of like what you said, a little bit of acceptance. Like you can enjoy yourself, and especially this time, and you shouldn't stress about it too much, because I don't think it is good for you mentally if you do that. I don't think long term it's very good for you at all. Most people
Yeah.
fail, and then, like I said, they end up binging, and then it ends up being worse for them in the long run than if they just had that little bit of something. But I think you still like also need to practice a little bit of self-control in these times as well, and not go completely off the deep end, and have whatever you can. So yeah, you need to still practice a little bit of discipline, still manage your portion sizes, still potentially decide whether there's a better option for you in terms of what you're consuming, but not completely like, I'm not going to have anything. Yeah, I think you need to enjoy yourself, but there does need to be a little bit of a guideline, a barrier of not going off the rails. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And there's so many different ways of doing it. Like what you're talking about there is having a lot more balance consistently throughout the year. I know a
Yep.
lot of professional like figure models and bodybuilders who do diet holidays, diet vacations, where they 3 weeks out of every month they're absolutely on it, and then one week they relax a bit, or they do 6 weeks in a week, or whatever it is. There's all sorts of different ways, but I think the most important thing is that you accept. And what I said in my blog yesterday was, health, to be absent of injury or illness, and maybe physical optimization. To move and perform like an athlete. It's not a destination. It's not something you're ever going to arrive at and be satisfied with. It's kind of like uh, wealth, accruing money. People always say, you never feel satisfied. You always see opportunity for more, and I think we should. We should strive to, I like to say, be a little bit better every day at whatever it is that you want to do. Keep learning, because if you're not learning, you're probably if you're not growing, you're dying. That the old saying goes. But health is, it's really important to understand that it's not a destination, it's a lifestyle that you adopt. And as I've said earlier, part of a healthy lifestyle is balance, and being able to give yourself permission to relax and socialize and make stronger connections with family, friends, And you can't do that if you're really restrictive of yourself all the time. Like it really does become difficult, and it's proven to not really work. Like it doesn't work. You need to be able to embrace that sort of balance. And I think that the most important thing and the key thing that I want to really drive home today is that it's really important that you give yourself permission to have lost momentum for a small period of time, but when you come home from your vacation, it's a new day. It's you don't let whatever happened last week affect that new day. I have a policy every day of and I'm pretty OCD about this, of not letting anything that happened yesterday affect me from the start of tomorrow. Try and wipe the slate clean, and that means having the house tidy by the time I go to bed, having everything that I needed to get done. That's just a benign thing that could waste time for me tomorrow. Have that all sorted so that tomorrow I wake up with a clean slate. And because the reality is that we all have head trash going on, whatever's going on in our life. That's enough to have to deal with. You don't want to have to deal with this other stuff. Did I exercise yesterday? No. Oh, bad. Well, woe is
Yep.
me. I'm screwed. I've stuffed my plan. No, today's a new day. Like, just wipe that slate clean. It doesn't matter. You know. And so there's going to be a lot of people, that come off the back of whether you had a vacation last week, whether you're on vacation this week, whether you've taken 2 weeks off. I know a lot of people in our tribe are taking time off, and I hope they are, because you need that time. Then when you come home, just think of, okay, this is a new day. This the slate. I'm starting again. Let's go. And take that momentum again. Whatever happens. Like as soon as I got back onto my, do we have a problem with the internet, or is it still
Yeah,
going?
you dropped out for a second, but it's back.
Okay.
It's all good.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's my internet. Yeah, as soon as I got back from my vacation, the day after, I just dragged myself up to the gym and just did a really light workout on every muscle in my body. I did
Yep.
basically like a body composition workout. I did back squats, front squats, vertical push pull, horizontal push pull, little bit of cardio. I went for a nice, comfortable walk over the bridge and back, which is about 5Ks. And but it was only 2 sets of everything, really light loads, just to get myself back to the gym, back into it. I didn't go, okay, I'm going to go do the hardest workout I could possibly fathom. And then that made it really easy. That was on a Saturday. And then I had Sunday off to relax. And then I jumped straight back into it on Monday. And when I went for my run on Monday, albeit how busy it was around here over the Harbour Bridge, I was practically human dodging. But I did that, got up to the gym, did a moderately intense workout back on the UMS program for vertical push pull and lower body flexibility. And, I felt good. And that felt like a load that I could manage because I'd done that little bit of prep earlier. And hey, I only had 1 week off exercise. I didn't do a bloody thing. It was raining a lot. I was sitting on a daybed watching the storms roll through, connecting with my kids. And believe me, I find it hard as anybody to switch off when I go on vacation. It's very difficult for me to do that, but I made a conscious effort to do that. I caught up on macroeconomics and all sorts of things that were going on around the world, and just didn't do much work at all. And I always take projects away with me and say I'm going to work. I'm going to work while I'm away. But this time I just went, no, you know what? I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to even exercise. I'm just going to relax, and I feel great for it. I feel great for it, and I
Yep.
really hope that other people give themselves permission to do the same thing. And
Yep.
not get caught up in, if you overindulge. I was lucky. I didn't eat a lot of junk food. I just realized on this stream, usually I would eat probably half a kilogram or maybe more of hot cross buns, and I didn't have one hot cross bun, which is quite amazing. But trust me, I drank at least a case, if not more, of a case of beer over that week. And I loved it and I enjoyed it. And now I'm back in Sydney. I'm going to be a non-drinker, and I'll wait for my next vacation. Yeah, we each have our ways of dealing with our addictions and our indulgences. But what's most important is that you don't get too caught up in your own head trash and
Yeah.
sabotage the goals that you set for yourself at the start of the year. It's another day today, and it's another opportunity for you to get started achieving those goals. And if you need help, reach out either on YouTube, on the podcast, on your in the Movement Mastermind group, and make sure that you remember that it's all a choice. It's a choice that you go deeper into your head trash and continue to sabotage yourself, or it's a choice that you make to say no. Today's another day. I'm going to restart on my goals. It doesn't matter how much you've lost momentum.
Yep.
You can always get started again. It's just,
Yep.
it's no different
It's
to the 1st of
it's not
January
game
when
over.
you that's exactly right. We all have this innate ability to set new goals and start on them on the 1st of January for our New Year's resolutions. You Why can't you do that any other day? And if you feel like you've lost momentum, then today is the day that you start again. Trust me, if I can do it, I got more head trash than anyone. If I can do it, everybody can do it.
I think it's important for
Richard's
real. I think
Richard's
it's
a
important for
cyborg,
everyone.
so he can always do it. But
I'm not. I'm not. Like I said, I take regular breaks. Like I take regular days across the weekend to eat what I like, because I know, you know, where I am, my body composition wise, it won't affect me too much. But also, again, like being super strict just is self sabotage, I think. Um, but what I was going to say, I think it's super important that people understand that, um, from your day one when you start on your journey for achieving your goals, nobody's like got a linear slope towards success. Everybody has setbacks. Everybody has like times where they step back a little bit, they go down a little bit. Performance, so it doesn't increase linearly like every week. Like you are going to plateau. You are going to have these times where you trip over, and it's important that like that happens to everybody, and you got to just accept the fact that's going to happen to you. But it's important that you recognize that and you have a strategy to get back on it.
yeah,
Continue the habit
because
of daily exercise, continue the habit of mindful eating, and just be okay with every now and then there's going to be days that happens to you, but it's what's most important is that you are driven and you get back on the horse, get back on the wagon, like the title says, that you
yeah,
continue on even though you do fail at times.
yeah, absolutely. I like to say results, whether you're training for a marathon or training for, technique optimization, training for physique optimization, movement mastery, whatever it is that your goal is. It's like a Bitcoin chart, right? On the log scale. If you look closely, it's choppy as ups and downs all over the place. But if you zoom out and look at it from the macro perspective, it's just a nice cruise up.
Yarny with his crypto analogies. Get it.
Got it in there. Okay, so let's make it really practical for everyone. Okay, let's give you a 3-step plan to get back on the wagon after your Easter binge. And trust me, trust me, trust me. I put this into practice constantly with myself personally, with my tribe, everyone, and it works. For those of you who have been following for a long period of time, I'm very vocal about the fact that I have battled depression and anxiety all my life, and I've had to look at ways of overcoming the days that you have where you just feel like crap, and so that what works incredibly well is uh the very first step is to just look for the first easy win. And the first easy win can be anything. Like for me, it was just getting to the gym and doing a really easy workout that was like so far below, like I really mean it. When I left for my vacation, I was doing 8 reps at 130 kilo on the back squat. And when I came back in that first workout, I didn't go above 80 kilos. I just put 80 kilos on the bar and did 2 sets on the back squat, 2 sets on the front squat. Super easy for me. I knew it wasn't going to be a grind, but that was really important because if I thought about going up there and doing the weight, the type of load and intensity that I was doing before my vacation, I would have talked myself out of it. All I needed to do was get myself through the door of that gym. That was my first win, okay? Because that hit the reset button for me. Once I did that workout, I felt good. It charged endorphins. It made me feel like I was back in the game. It made me feel like I'd, put that first foot on the step for the wagon. And then it made it easier for me to get up the next morning and and um, go for my walk. Like, admittedly, usually I'd go for a run, but I went for a walk because a run would have been too big a step for me at that stage. I just said, just go out and go for a walk. Get your knees moving again, get your legs moving again, and it didn't go perfectly to plan. I ended up, I went for that workout on Saturday, thinking that's it. I'm not going to drink any more alcohol from this point on. And then I ended up drinking 4 beers on Sunday again, watching the UFC. And so you could have thought, oh well, wow, you sabotage yourself again. Yeah, well, I still had made progress towards my goal. And then on Monday morning, because I didn't beat myself up about that, I looked for the next small win. So the first step for you is to just look for your first small win, and it cannot be something too big. It has to be something small. So for our UMS tribe who feel like they've fallen off the wagon, it might be just to get the 20-minute flexibility routine done. Because that's an easy routine. It's not huge, and that's going to be nice and easy to do. For someone who's a little bit more experienced, it might be just to get to the gym and do a body flush workout, something like what I did, where you do your whole body. Something nice and easy, something that you can do. It might just be to go for a walk like I did on Monday, but you just got to look for your first win. And what I would say is that's the first step. The second step, and this is the hardest one to do, but I really mean this is very important. Do not let there be anything in your kitchen or house that resembles the week prior. So if you've got a cupboard full of Easter eggs,
Yeah.
they need to go in the bin. They need to go in the
Uh-huh.
bin. Uh, that's really important because your willpower cannot be trusted and it will be tested. And so I always say, like, I'm the type of person, I'm so all or nothing. I was telling my parents, my mum and my stepdad stayed with me last night. And we went out and had dinner, and I was talking to them about how extreme I have to go if I don't want to drink. I have to literally tip everything out and just not have anything in the house, and then I'm fine. But if it's around here, I'll just go, oh God, I'll have one drink, and it's the same with chocolate for me. If there's chocolate in the house, I'll have to eat it. It's the most bizarre thing. I've got no willpower, because I exhaust myself. I train so hard in the day, and I work so hard that by the evening, I'm just fried. And when I sit down in front of Netflix or read a book, there's no willpower there. Willpower is a battery that needs to recharge overnight when you sleep, and it's very much intrinsically. There's a lot of interesting studies by a scientist called Baumeister, not Burmeister like mine, but slightly different spelling, and he's sort of suggested that willpower depletes with your glycogen. So as you run out of fuel in the body, you make worse choices and decisions, that don't align with your goals. So it will be tested. So I would say step 2 is to get rid of that stuff. I know it's going to be hard. You're going to be sitting there going, I can't believe I'm throwing all this out. But give it away, gift it to someone that you don't care about, get it out of your house because you won't be able to avoid it.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
my third step is just to be at peace with whatever you've done last week or this week or over the vacation break. Give yourself permission to have done it. Do not have guilt around it, and don't give it another thought. That's it. That's the last time you think about it. It is okay.
Yeah.
It is okay to stumble. Even the best do. No one's perfect. You are not meant to be perfect. You are enough. And it is okay to give yourself permission to do whatever you've done. What do you think, Richard? Anything to add to that?
Yeah, I like that. I like a lot of those points. The getting the stuff out of the house is a big one. Like, so easy are we to fall back into the trap of indulging when it's right there in front of us? I think, not even my willpower can resist a good Easter egg if it's in the fridge still. So get it out, throw it out, get rid of it. And I really like
Yeah.
the last one as well. Forgive yourself for what has happened. It's not the end of the world. It's not game over. Crack on, because it's often that guilt that can have us rebound and be a complete zealot straight after, and then that just leads to another rebound. So,
Yep.
yeah, be okay
I,
with
th-
it
I
and
think
move on.
I agree. The mindset, the last point three is possibly the most important. Getting a small win is going to start momentum, and that's going to really, really help. Cleaning out the cupboards of anything that may linger from your week of indulgence is really important. But if you don't forgive yourself and overcome the mindset head trash, that's what's going to sabotage you. You know that's going to, because that's the thing that'll make you go, oh, I'm going to,
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
pick that out of the bin and eat it because I feel horrible,
yeah, yeah,
Probably put your stuff in the bin and then take the trash out so you can't go back through the bin. I,
yeah.
I do know, a friend who's done that before. asking for a friend.
But it's
All
also
right,
have
tribe.
a
That's
good
all.
strategy.
Sorry, go on.
I was going to
What's
say
that?
have a good. It's also important to have a good strategy afterwards as well, like how exactly you're going to come back from this, as well. Like
Yep.
how you're going to change your eating, because after that weekend you can put on a bit of weight. So accept it, but also again jump back on that wagon with what you were doing before that week. All right,
Yep.
that's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Be at peace with it. It'll be a thing of the past in a couple of weeks, and the most important thing is to just get that momentum back and remove any cause for sabotage. Remove any hurdles, preempt them, because if they're there, you'll stumble. All right, guys, we're going to dive into our UMS coaching group now to give them their daily dose of motivation and coaching. I've enjoyed this discussion. I had a good response from the blog that I wrote yesterday about this, and I think that it's something that we all need to hear from time to time. So if you enjoyed it, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks, Richard.
Guys.